President Donald Trump has hailed the passage of his flagship tax and spending bill by Congress, describing it as a major victory for the U.S. economy. Speaking to reporters ahead of a rally in Ohio to kick off celebrations marking America's 250th birthday, Trump said the bill would boost the economy like a rocket ship. President Trump praised lawmakers for what he called a bold step toward restoring economic strength and prosperity in the country. The rally in Iowa is part of a series of events marking the historic milestone as the nation prepares to celebrate 2.5 centuries of independence. Global Affairs Analyst Ejike Okpa joins me to unpack the significance of the bill passage. Hello, Ejike, can you hear me, sir?
Hello.
Good evening.
I can hear you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. Please, from a global affair and economic perspective, how will the extended 2017 tax cuts affect low and middle income Americans compared to the wealthy people?
I mean, the comparison or the comparative analysis, for that is up in the air. The wealthy people, whether people like it or not, they're the ones that bring the jobs. They're the ones that spend the most money. If they spend 1% of their wealth capacity is probably more than 1,000 people spending $1,000. So let's not just have any sentiment or undue concern about the wealthy. America is one country that gives you an opportunity to be as big as you can. So if you work hard and luck being on your side, you can get wealthy. But the tax thing is always a very sensitive matter for any individual. Americans want more money in their pocket, as opposed to having that money go to the government, because government anywhere in the world, they're not the ones that are very good in spending your money. But there are certain things the government, are good in doing, which is, border security. No country will have any integrity if it's an open border, come on, come out, or public safety. Every other thing is about economic benefit, economic impact. How are the jobs being created? What are the incentives that encourage businesses to create jobs? Because those are the things that really matter at the end of the day for anybody. Where do you go to work? What are you getting paid? So this tax bill is welcome, development. The president is able to do it, 6 months after he took office. No president has worked as hard as he has to get a major bill like this passed. Yes, no bill in the history of America has always gotten 100%. You're going to have opposition from your own party or opposition from the opposing party. The most important thing is now is law. And if there are anybody who wants to challenge it or group, now just go file a lawsuit. But, I'm happy that he pushed it through. I'm happy that he said he wants to sign it on Independence Day. So by tomorrow, we're just going to see him doing this signing of the bill. And then it becomes law. That's it. Bill is bill until it's signed into law. And that's the law that we are going to be now dealing with.
Can you tell us what impact could the proposed Medicaid and SNAP cuts have on vulnerable communities?
Well, it's going to have some impact, but again, like I said, the law the law is going to become effective tomorrow. If those communities feel that, this is unconstitutional, that is an undue burden of them, they have the option to sue. But we don't know. I don't think, the president will intentionally alienate those people because those are voters. It doesn't matter. The benefit of America is if a billionaire don't get 1 billion votes, we all, equalize under one person, one vote. So now that the bill is being passed and has become law, the vulnerable communities, have a choice. They can go sue to say this is unconstitutional, and that's where an amendment can come, and the particular side of that bill can be set aside. Our Medicare Medicare is a big chunk on our money, and there's been so much fraud in it. One of the biggest frauds in America comes from health and human services. It's almost $200 billion in an annual fraud that is unaccounted for. So this bill is supposed to address it, and then also make healthcare accessible for those who are in those sort of category.
How does making the 2017 tax code permanent affect everyday Americans? Can you tell us that?
Well, I mean, what it is now, because what happens is when he did it the first time he was in office, Biden came in and that was the law was suspended, but now it is permanent. i.e. it's going to go in our tax code. And then until another Congress comes in and begin to change it, but that's just going to be a difficult thing to do, because when it becomes a law the way it has become a law, it is very difficult to change it, even though you can sue for an aspect of it, but you cannot overturn the entire bill. So what it's going to do, is again, like the president said, it's an economic opportunity for us. He said we're going to do well. We're going to see it. This is an effort. Now we're just going to look for the outcome. And we're hoping, in the 3.5 years they still have in office, he will see what happens with this bill, and then see whether Americans are happy with him, because next year we're having a midterm election. If Americans feel this is not going to do anything for them, then they're not going to vote him out of office, but they can change, the majority in the House and the majority in the Senate. And if they get that majority, they're going to just frustrate him, and he won't be able to be an effective president. So hopefully, between now and next year election, which is November 2026, it's enough time for Americans to say, oh yeah, this is working for us, and then we're going to keep it going.
We see that some of the Republicans resisted the bill initially, then backed it. What does this say about party unity?
The Republican Party is not like the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party is a sheep and the shepherd. So when the shepherd said this is where the sheep go, it's a sheepish following. But the Republican Party is not like that. You're going to have individual Republican Party members that say, I don't understand what the president is doing or what the bill is going to do. But the most important thing is that, we get enough people to vote for it to pass. So the opposition is fine within a party, and then the Republicans welcome that. It's just the Democrats that frown when their own members oppose what the leadership of the Democratic Party is pushing.
Thank you so much, Ejike, for joining us at this time. Thank you.